Hello, welcome to Rappler Talk. I'm Marites Vitug, and joining us is Romel Bagares, the lead counsel of the Philippine Coalition for the International Criminal Court. They recently filed a petition with the Supreme Court opposing Duterte's withdrawal from the ICC. Thank you, Romel, for joining us today. And we know that there will be oral arguments in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yes, that's correct.
First, tell us what the coalition is all about and why you filed this petition questioning or opposing the withdrawal of the president from the ICC.
Well, the PCICC is really it's part of an international network called the Coalition for the International Criminal Court. So we're a network of NGOs, and the CICC is the organization that really pushed for the drafting of the Rome Statute. This is actually the first treaty in the world that was primarily developed and implemented because of the effort of NGOs. So the Philippine Coalition is the local chapter of the International Coalition, and we were the organization that pushed for the Philippines to become a state party to the Rome Statute.
So the coalition lobbied with the Senate,
with all the stakeholders, right? So the security organizations, PNP, AFP, the academe. So we were very active from the beginning. In fact, we even filed a petition before after the Philippines signed the Rome Statute but failed to transmit it to the Senate. That's the Pimentel case. We lost in that case on the ground that it's the president that ratifies according to the Philippine Supreme Court, and it's part of the functions of the president to conduct foreign relations. So the president cannot be compelled by the court as to how he will conduct foreign relations. So for that reason, we lost the petition. But eventually, the Philippines did become a state party to the Rome Statute.
so after the Senate ratified or concurred with the treaty in 2011,
That's correct.
what did the coalition have to do after that?
Well, there are still a lot of things that had to be done. For instance, how to get the Philippines to finally implement, for instance, the IHL Act. So some of our members are really very active in promoting the IHL Act because that's the implementing legislation.
How do you call that?
The IHL Act, International Humanitarian Law Act, which was actually passed a year before we became a state party. So that's really putting the cart before the horse, literally. Because the implementing law came before our ratification or accession to the Rome Statute. And that is the law that punishes genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes in Philippine courts.
So, ngayon, tell us, bakit nyo ino-oppose itong pag-withdraw ni President Duterte from the ICC?
For many reasons. No? Unang-una, meron tayong tinatawag natin na treaty clause sa ating saligang batas na nagsasaad na kapag may tratado, kailangan duman ito sa ating Senado. At kung magkakaroon ng desisyon ng ating presidente na aalis doon sa tratadong yun, kailangan duman uli ito sa Senado. No? So that's one of the main reasons why we filed this petition. Pangalawa, siyempre dahil kinakatawan natin yung mga mamamayan, sinasabi natin na nawalan ng karapatan yung mga mamamayan na makilahok sa ganitong napakahalagang usapin. No? This is a right to public governance that's recognized in many international treaties to which we are a party, and which the courts itself, the Philippine Supreme Court itself actually recognizes also as part of the law of the land.
I see. Pero ang argument naman ni President Duterte, he enjoys an immunity from suit as stated or implied in the Philippine Constitution.
Totoo yun. Sa palagi ko, magkahiwalay na issue yun. Unang-una, yung Rome Statute kasi, hindi din naman kinikilala yung immunity ng isang sitting president or incumbent head of state. At kung ating maalala, sa katunayan, nauna tayong nagkaroon ng implementing law bago tayo naging partido sa Rome Statute. Now, sa ating jurisprudence, sinasabi na yung status ng isang treaty ay kagaya lamang ng isang lokal na batas. At meron din tayong tinatawag na what we call the principle that the later law supersedes an earlier law. And the Rome Statute is very clear about immunities, that it does not recognize immunities. And in our IHL Act, there's an actual provision there that states that, yes, indeed, an exception to lack of official immunity is the constitutional grant of immunity to the President. So incompatible yun sa Rome Statute.
Yes.
Since nahuli tayong naging miyembro, naging partido sa Rome Statute, ang dapat pagtingin ng korte doon ay nawala yung parang na-invalidate yung provision sa IHL Act na nagbibigay ng immunity sa presidente nung tayo ay naging partido sa ICC. Ganun yung mga technical rules noon sa kung paano ini-interpret ng ating korte yung saligang batas patungkol sa usapin na yan.
Tapos pangalawang ground pa, among the grounds of the President, kaya nag-withdraw siya, is hindi daw na-publish sa official gazette itong Rome Statute.
Yan ang isa sa pinaka-interesting na argument ng mga abogado ng presidente, no? Kasi yung official gazette, nandiyan talaga yun, lumang-luma na yan, ano? At sa pagdating ng panahon, in fact, marami ng mga jurisprudence na nagsasabi na hindi lamang sa official gazette, pag na-publish sa newspaper, at ano pang sinabi ng batas na kung saan ito pwedeng i-publish, ano? Pero yung pagkakaiba nito, meron talaga tayo sa saligang batas, yung treaty clause na sinasabi doon, yung tinatawag na doctrine of transformation, na isang tratado kapag ka ito ay sinang-ayunan ng Senado, hindi na kailangan itong i-publish. Dahil nagiging bahagi na ito ng batas ng Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag na transformation. So by the Senate concurrence, a treaty is transformed into Philippine law, and therefore there's no need for publication. Yung second order argument, sabihin na natin na kailangan ng publication, in fact na-publish na yon dahil nga meron tayong IHL Act. At malinaw sa IHL Act natin na the IHL Act actually implements provisions of the Rome Statute dealing with prosecution for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide.
Ngayon, ang sinasabi pa ni President Duterte is the ICC has become a political tool. Tapos sinayot niya may bias ang UN agencies against him. So, may basis ba itong kanyang observation or argument?
Sa palagay ko po, matikikita natin yung record ng ICC. Palagay ko hindi po kangaroo court yung International Criminal Court. Kararaan lamang, just I think a month or so ago, yung isang notorious war criminal, si Bemba, sa Congo, he was acquitted by the court. And it caused a lot of uproar because he was actually held guilty by the trial chambers of the ICC. Okay. And after a long process, he was acquitted. And this was a really notorious war criminal. The court appreciated a reasonable doubt because he was actually convicted on command responsibility. That should actually give the president comfort. Kasi hindi kangaroo court yung ICC. Malinaw na independence po itong ICC. At sa kasong ito na napaka-controversial, actually marami pong nag-react negatively sa korte na lumabas yung decision
wala
ito.
Nang appeal
wala
yan?
pong appeal ito. Kasi ang nag-acquit po sa kanya yung yung appeals chamber po ng ICC.
Very interesting pala yung case na yan. And as you said, it should give him comfort.
Yes, dahil po wala pong bias doon, dahil ang mga huwes po ay galing sa ibang bansa. Makakaasa po yung ating Pangulo. At sa sinasabi ko nga malayo po sa bituka ito kasi hindi pa nagsisimula, nasa preliminary examinations pa lang.
Yes.
In fact, yung PE dapat tingnan ito natin na ito yung pagkakataon natin para patunayan sa ICC na hindi niya kailangang manghimasok. Kasi yun naman talagang disenyo ng tinatawag na complementarity. Yung mga korte natin ang dapat na mauna, na patunayan na kaya nating mag-prosecute ng mga krimen na ito. At yun talaga yung design ng ICC. Hindi natin dapat tinitingnan na yung ICC yung tagapagligtas ng mamamayang Pilipino dito.
So ngayon, ongoing ang isang kaso sa Supreme Court, di ba, questioning Tokhang. And I think you're party to that case. Ito ba indication na, the Philippine judicial system is working on this problem, addressing it?
Well, of course, the government can actually make that argument. Precisely what we're saying is that in the level of the preliminary examinations, which is what the ICC trial prosecutor commenced, dito tinitingnan kasi kung talagang may genuine prosecution or genuine ability yung ating mga local courts para pangunahan yung paglilitis ng mga may sala na sinasabi natin na yung crimes against humanity or war crimes. At ito nga yung punto na titingnan ng OT, Office of Trial Prosecutor, At titingnan niya kung itong mga alegasyon na ito ay walang basehan o politically motivated lamang. No? So mahalaga dapat yun tingnan ng ating pamahalaan. At bahagi ng proseso din itong proseso sa Korte Suprema. No? Makikita natin kung yung ating mga kapulisan no, ay mayroong cooperation. Makikita din yan sa bilang ng mga kaso nakafile. No? Laban dun sa sinasabi nating may gawa ng tokhang.
Okay. Ngayon, dito sa ICC, Burundi pa lamang ang bansa na talagang finally na umalis na, no? And then South Africa left, but nag-change yung administration, bumalik sila. So technically, second tayo na
Opo,
umalis.
totoo po yan.
So bakit are we in good company with Burundi as a country that left the ICC?
Well, mahirap sabihin ganun, no? Pero sa Burundi kasi halos maaring maging modelo ito ng ICC, no? Hindi rin maaring maging modelo lamang, no? Dahil sa Burundi kasi what happened there was when the OTP announced the preliminary examinations, Burundi also withdrew. No? But 2 days or 3 days before the lapse of the period, the ICC announced preliminary investigation. So yun yung formal na investigation. And that happened in a span of 1 year, no?
Okay.
So may trial chamber. Hindi kasi ganun kadali doon eh. Kagaya sa atin na may prosecutor, pag nirecommend ng prosecutor, ipa-file na yan sa korte, di ba? Dito, mag-request ka muna sa trial chamber, pre-trial chamber. Pag sabi ng prosecutor, we have enough evidence to start, we think, a investigation proper.
Okay.
Pupunta muna sila sa trial chamber, patutunayan nila doon na merong ang basehan para mag-move yung proseso from examination to investigation proper.
So matagal pa
ito. Matagal.
Do you think, within the term of Duterte, matatapos to?
Sa palagay ko, kung titingnan natin yung record ng ICC sa mga iba't ibang mga kaso, no? Merong nilabas yung ICC OTP na report nung December 9, last December, no? Doon sa mga investigasyon ginagawa nila sa level ng PE tsaka PI, you know. Iba-iba yung haba ng mga periods ng yung iba 10 to 14 years na hindi pa rin tapos. Yung pinakamabilis yung sa Burundi. So depende nga yun sa quality ng mga kaso na ipapakita natin sa OTP, no. Sana hindi tayo umabot doon na gusto nating makita na yung sistema natin talaga ay gumagana.
So, kaya ito, nag-file kayo ng case sa Supreme Court dahil yung, sabi mo nga, you're opposing the withdrawal on certain grounds, pero ang Senate din, senators, minority senators, nag-file din ng case.
Nauna sila sa amin actually.
Nauna sila, and ang kanila lang, they want to have a 2/3 vote in all treaty withdrawals. Now, does this case help you? Your case,
Una-una sila may standing talaga sila, no, local standing, no, dahil bilang mga legislators, mga senador, meron sila sa opisina talaga nila dumadaan yung ganung usapin, ano. At nung ginawa ng pangulo natin yon, sa in theory, no, nilabag nito yung separation of powers, no. Pangalawa, dahil nga nakalagay sa ating treaty clause na kailangan ng Senate concurrence, hindi rin pwedeng idiretso ng presidente itong withdrawal kung na hindi dumadaan sa ating Senado, no. So sa isang malaking bahagi ng aming kaso ay nakaatang din doon sa kanilang kaso, no. Oo.
Bakit i-question kaya yung inyong standing as the coalition?
Well, normally ginagawa talaga ng mga abogado ng gobyerno 'yan, no. But we also argue that we have an independent standing, no. Yung Universal Declaration of Human Rights, bahagi tayo noon. In fact, it's not a treaty, pero yung korte natin sinasabi na binding sa atin 'yun, no. At nakalagay doon sa Universal Declaration of Human Rights na lahat ng organs of society ay merong obligasyon na pangalagaan yung karapatang pantao. So kasama dyan yung PCICC. It's not an individual, it's a corporate body, it's an NGO, and it has a separate legal standing on that theory. No, yung mga members din ng iba ay naging petitioner din, no, as individuals. No, bahagi din sila ng proseso, kailangang madinig yung kanilang boses dahil under our treaty clause, kailangang magkaroon ng hearings yung ating Senado. Ano, there has to be hearings and it is in those hearings where we hope we would be heard. But that right was denied us because of the abrupt withdrawal.
Yes. Ngayon, I noticed that in your petition with the Supreme Court at saka yung petition ng Senado, may isa kayong common case na sinasite, yung case ng South Africa na nag-withdraw, tapos nung new administration na, bumalik sila sa ICC and there was a case filed in their Supreme Court at the Supreme Court decided in favor of returning. Ito ba may persuasive influence sa ating Supreme Court?
Well, umaasa tayo na makita ng Korte Suprema yung logic doon. Actually, parliamentary system kasi yung South Africa, no? So walang pinaghiwalay, walang pinag-iba yung executive halos sa theory ng parliamentary supremacy. So kung sa ganung sistema nga hindi pa rin pinayagan, no? Lalo na sa atin dahil tayo ay may talagang malinong separation of powers, yung nangyari kasi sa South Africa, nag-withdraw din yung kanilang Prime Minister, pero mayroong nag-file ng complaint na NGOs din. Actually, kausap ko din yung abogado doon, isang professor sa Cape Town, University of Cape Town, law faculty doon. At kinikwento nga niya na yun ang nangyari at sinasabi nga niya na yung naging desisyon ng kanilang korte ay nagkakaroon ng isang malaking anomalya dahil may batas na nakalagay doon na approving the Rome Statute. Kagaya sa atin, yung Senate resolution kasi that's an equivalent of the statute. So sa level ng Rome Statute system, merong na-file na withdrawal. Anong klaseng animal yung ngayon yung Senate resolution approving our membership?
Yes.
It stays there. It's still a law because definitely the president cannot invalidate a Senate act, right? It has to be the Senate that does that. Now, what we have is an anomaly. We have this Senate resolution saying that we become a party. It stays there. It's still law because the president has no power to invalidate that. That's why we're saying the unilateral withdrawal is really unconstitutional for that reason. It's a violation of the separation of powers doctrine.
So mukhang under sa ground na yan, you stand on the very strong grounds dito. Kaya lang recently, itong March lang, nag-file ang 14 senators, they cross party lines to file, they filed a resolution, di ba, saying na the Senate should concur in all treaty withdrawals, pero hindi na ito nag-prosper. Ito ba makaka-affect din sa kaso?
Sa palagi ko, hindi naman kasi ang pinagbabasehan natin din sa ligang batas. So yung ating titiklos malinaw doon na dapat dadaan muna sa Senado. Dahil meron ng concurrence ng Senate, hindi pwedeng i-withdraw ito ng presidente dahil pag withdraw niya, nandun pa rin yung concurrence, batas pa rin ito So mayroong anomaly na meron tayo sa international system na withdrawal, pero sa ating sistema, nandun pa rin yung batas na nagsasabi na partido tayo sa Rome Statute. At yung kasing bilang na sinasabi natin 14, kasi nga two-thirds. Kulang sila ngayon, 23 lamang yung senador dahil si Senator Cayetano ay naging DFA secretary. So ang threshold is really 15.
I see.
So for that resolution to pass, you need 15 votes. Kaya hindi yun natuloy.
Okay.
So ganoon din yung prinsipyo na you need two-thirds vote to withdraw. Actually, we can actually use that as an argument. Precisely, you need two-thirds, the vote of two-thirds of the Senate to withdraw from the Rome Statute.
So parang ill-advised lang si President dito kasi very clear naman na may Senate resolution, it's in the treaty. At saka, yun nga, this is the first time it's happened in the Philippines.
Totoo yan, na ngayon lang tayo nagkaroon ng ganyan. So, I don't wish to speculate kung ano nangyari. Pero sa palagay ko, baka mas maging malinaw yung proseso kapag dininig na ito ng Korte Suprema at hopefully magkaroon ng kalinawan din sa parte ng ating pamahalaan na actually wala pa ditong usapin ng violation ng due process. Kasi sa katunayan, dadaan ito sa parang sa karayom, sa mata ng karayom yung proseso dahil at sa rules of procedure mismo ng Rome Statute, ang daming pwede nilang pasukin, na bago dun sa preliminary investigation, pwede na silang manghimasok at sabihin nila na dapat itigil yung investigation kasi may ginagawa dito, at hindi ito katulad ng proseso sa ating local prosecutor na napakadali, simple. Dun sa kanila, every step of the way, merong mechanisms to make sure that an accused is really given his day in court, or even a respondent as early as the preliminary investigation can already make oppositions.
You mean itong stage na to is they call preliminary examination. So at this stage, it's just information gathering. Ano ang magagawa ni President Duterte?
Well, he can, of course, officially, hindi siya pwedeng mag-participate doon. Pero sa tingin ko nga, I'm almost sure na yung final ni Attorney Sabio, madi-dismiss yun Kasi it's outside the temporal jurisdiction of the ICC. Yung mga assuming na totoo yung allegations doon, nangyari yun bago tayo naging member ng ICC. Walang temporal jurisdiction ng ICC doon.
I see. So, ngayon, what is the timetable? Kailan dapat mag-decide ang Supreme Court dito sa inyong
Sa loob ng
petition?
isang taon na to kasi magiging epektibo yung withdrawal natin ay, if I recall correctly, March 18 next
Okay,
year.
so March 18 next
Oo.
year. So dapat bago mag-March 18,
Meron ng decision yung korte.
I see. Kasi kung wala, what if we don't decide before March 18?
Well, magiging butan academic yung kaso at magte-take effect yung ating withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
Yes.
Permanently.
Yeah.
Pero can another administration, pwede bang...
Of course, there's nothing that stops the next administration from returning to the Rome Statute.
I see. Dito sa inyong oral argument sa August 14, no? So, ina-expect natin na according to the senators, they have asked the Supreme Court na sila, Senator Laila de Lima ang mag-argue, and then you will also argue on behalf of the coalition.
Yes. Oo.
So, but what to you are your strongest arguments? Ano yung what will stand out na which will supplement or complement the Senate's
Mas palagay namin yun nga no na yung complementarity issue actually hindi lang ito usapin na kumbaga nakikialam sa atin itong OTP no. Sa katunayan dun sa complementary principle malino doon na meron tayong obligasyon talaga na patunayan na meron tayong willingness, genuine willingness and genuine ability to prosecute ano na hindi naman ito na papakita natin. So malayo pa talaga no walang yung publication I think that can be easily surmounted by the fact that the treaty itself no the treaty clause itself, and we have so many cases saying that we don't need publication of a treaty as long as it's concurred by the Senate. That is equivalent to transformation of the treaty into Philippine law. That's pretty much established in Philippine jurisprudence ano.
So anyway, so you have a solid ground there. Ito siguro mga last question na lang. If ever na ICC indicts President Duterte, ito ba siya lang o isasama ba yung Chief of Police, yung mga nag-i-implement ng tokhang?
Well, sa nakikita natin sa mga kaso na nasa ICC na no, kasi merong issue na ng command responsibility and of course yung mga direct implementors.
Okay.
No?
So separate ba yun?
Pagsasamahin yun, no? So may command responsibility magkakaroon ng kaso na pwedeng pagsamahin no siya sa command responsibility at yung iba naman sila yung direct implementors ano. Mahabang proseso pa po talaga 'yan no. Parang hindi pa nga natin pinag-uusapan 'yan ngayon no. So sa palagay ko and I think the president will have the best defense counsels around no. Ang maganda sa ICC, wala kang gagastusin dahil it's the court that actually pays for everything.
Really? But I thought that there is parang list of accredited lawyers lamang.
But that means that it's actually the court that pays. No?
Isa lang yung
kasi
accredited sa Philippines, di ba?
Merong principle tayo na equality of arms, no? So, kung ano yung nasa prosecutor, ganun din yung nasa defense counsel. At precisely, that is meant to ensure that there's no politics involved. No? You can get the best counsel you want and you don't have to pay anything. And then it's also the court that pays for the victims, no? There's a victims fund, no? Para talagang ipatunayan na walang ditong politikahan at na objective at saka fair yung proseso.
Pwede po bang magpa-accredit yung non-accredited lawyer?
Pwede, no? Actually napakadali
open,
lang, no? Sa 10 years of practice, no? 10 years of practice and you have to get a certification from the local IBP that you have not been convicted of any ethical breach.
But 10 years of practice of international...
Yeah, dapat related sa criminal proceedings. No?
Okay, so hindi pala sarado yung list na yun?
Hindi.
Okay.
Kung 5 years pa lang, pwede kang maging affiliate. No? Affiliate lawyer.
Ikaw, naka 10 years ka na, di ba, Romel?
Hindi ako ayokong magbigay ng idea, no? Pero yun, actually, kahit sinong abogadong Pilipino na meron ng 10 taon, maaring mag-apply as list counsel.
Pero isa lang kasi ang listed natin ngayon, di ba, from the Philippines?
Si spokesperson Hari pa lang, no?
Okay.
At dahil nung panahon na yun talaga, bago pa lang din yung International Criminal Bar, no? At sumahaba yung...
Pwede bang si Philippine judge, si Raul Pangalangan, pag malayo pa ito, pero pag nakarating na to sa ICC, Kailangan ba niyang mag-inhibit?
Sa palagay ko, ganun ang mangyayari. Ano?
Ganun ba yun?
Sa palagay ko, well, hindi naman siya obligatory.
Okay.
Ano? Pwede kasing magkaroon ng objection sa kanya na sasabihin na hindi siya fair na judge dahil and I think na sa palagay ko mas maganda din para sa kanya talaga na I don't want of course to make a statement on his behalf, di ba?
Yeah.
No, so sa palagay ko naman walang namang batas ngayon na nagsasabi na hindi siya pwede maging judge. What's interesting actually is doon sa Burundi, isa sa mga judge doon sa pre-trial chamber na nagsabi na kailangan mag-proceed from PE to PI.
Interesting,
Siya yung isa sa mga huwes doon na nagsabi na dapat magkaroon na ng preliminary investigation sa Burundi.
At saka yung issue din ng command responsibility, I didn't realize na malaking bagay pala yan dun sa case ng, that recent case you said, where they acquitted?
Yung Bemba case.
Bemba case. Okay.
So sa atin, pretty established sa IHL Act, mayroong command responsibility. Marami tayong kaso sa involving yung writ of amparo. Talagang sinabi ng court dito na ito yung bahagi na to ng batas ng Pilipinas, yung command responsibility. No? At pwedeng i-apply ito sa presidente. No? Pero yun nga, kung dahil sa criminal proceeding ito, mas mataas yung threshold ng evidence, no? Guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Kaya nga na-acquit si Bemba.
Dahil may reasonable doubt. I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Romel, and we look forward to listening to you and your co-counsels on August 14. Live stream naman to ng Supreme Court, so good luck sa inyo. And thank you to our viewers and listeners. We just spoke with Romel Bagares, the lead counsel of the Philippine Coalition for the International Criminal Court, on their grounds for opposing Duterte's unilateral withdrawal from the ICC.